Start.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay.
Um,
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
okay, we'll be introduce our new rules for chapter 13 to 15 that we will be discussing. So the questioner is Aina, the vocabulary enricher is me, connector is Nas, the passage selector is Ayat, and the summarizer is Bella. So let us commence forth and let us start with the passage selector first.
Yes, I will like some passage first.
Alright, thank you so much, Ansar, for giving me the opportunity to be the first. Wait, give me a second, just 1 second.
Okay, take your time.
Alright, first let me share my screen. Can you guys see the passage that I've highlighted?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so we start with chapter 13, right? At the right chapter, right? Alright. So the passage that I have highlighted is at the page 88. Let me read it first. When the Range Rover rolls to a stop at a traffic light, Just looks out his window to find the driver of a white Suburban, white dude, probably early 50s, giving him a dirty look. Okay, so why did I choose this passage? First thing, because to be honest, if I were to be that white dude, I will also definitely give him that dirty looks. No, actually, to be honest, I will join the vibing to the song, but definitely because I'm not in my 50. If I were to be that old, I'm then definitely to be annoyed too. Okay, but here, this is what I want to highlight here is that um, since everything is like they are getting stressed from the charges that Mr. Christensen gave to Manny Right for punching his son, and that's what led them to vibing to loud songs in the music, and they got that dirty look from the white dude. Okay, I want to give you guys from another point of view. Imagine that is a white teenagers opening a loud songs and a black man in his 50s in a suburban giving him a dirty look. That's quite a normal norm, right? For us to giving them a dirty look. Okay, so what I want to say here, and then they got into a fight, and then boom, something happened. Okay, let's keep that for the later. What I want to say here is everything is going in circles. They got into the fight. The policeman got into got indignant, and or they get out, and then the circles, they are going in circles. Do you guys get what I mean? Everything is going in circles until like there's an uproar until an uproar happens, that such as that let me take a big example such as George Floyd uh, incident, that will stop the circles when people can actually open their eyes, because everything here is actually going in circles because no one is tolerating each other. And I believe in that chapter also, Justice is asking himself what Martin would do. Martin, what would you do? Okay, so if we can see what Martin would do is trying to stop the circles. He is trying to be out of the norm. Like if he were in that car, he would slow it down. But Manny is not trying to be like Martin. That's why he's just going with what he wants to do. He is not trying to tolerate with that white people. That's why I'm trying to say everything is going in circles. They are not tolerating each other, and that's what I think. It's actually I'm not focusing on racism, but what I want to highlight here is that no one wants to change the world. They are just maintaining themselves. That is why there's no change um throughout this whole year.
Yeah, I understand what you say.
Mixing up my words. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight, but
Yeah,
I
it's like this, right? That the black people will stay like how black people will
yeah,
react, and
yes,
white people will
yeah.
also like how.
Black people will stay as black people, and white people will stay as white people. So
They won't change their stereotype at all. Yeah,
yeah, we are going in circles. No one has the willing to change. That's what I want to highlight here. And what the moral I can get from this passage that I highlighted is let's tolerate each other for the better. Alright, so after hearing me babbling, I guess you guys want to have quite some chill from do we have Mr. or Miss Vocab? It's Mr. or Miss Vocab.
Today is Mister.
Oh, Mr.
oh,
Vocab. May I know who is
Mr.
he?
Asa, yeah.
Oh, Mr.
Yes,
Anta.
uh,
You're
it's
fine.
me. Okay, there's a lot of vocabulary I want to share. Wait,
Okay, Mr. Anta, you can just tell the page and I will highlight it for you.
okay, okay. Okay, so the first word is
Okay, you.
crank in the first page. Yes, that one. So that one is actually a slang word. Usually we uh always say turn that volume up, but they African American have their own slang. Like they usually like change some word to their words that they usually use. Like this one, they use the crank to indicate to increase the volume of the radio. So the second one is mugging, just right under there, mugging hard. So if you search in the internet, uh, it have different meaning than the context that this that many trying to tell. Mugging here doesn't mean the same as mugging in the dictionary. So in the dictionary, mugging means an act of attacking and robbing someone in a public place. But this one, it indicates that the guy on the other side of the car, he tries to threaten many and justice. So he's not actually attacking like the one that in the dictionary said. And the next one is Prolly, Prolly. Okay, okay. So I think you guys can guess what Prolly is. So what do you think Prolly is actually?
I think probably is a short term use, which is actually meanings like probably, but it is in the short form.
Yes,
Right?
that one.
Yeah.
Good job,
As I said
Angola.
before, it's another slang word. It's another slang word that mostly used by American people. And I think that's all for vocabulary, except for lots of cursing and swearing words in the next page. Uh, I think that's all. So can we go for the questionnaire? I would like some questions.
Yes, I will like my question. She just talks.
Della, can you hear
Hi,
me?
Diana.
Della?
I can
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So this is chapter 13, part
Waalaikumsalam.
2. Okay, so I would like to spice up the chapter with some questions. Okay, this chapter was very hectic with some conversation between a white man who is described as early or 50 years old, and also between Manny and Justice. So the question that I would like to ask is, was that early 50 years old man acting rationally as a normal road user? Well, okay, I would like to explain some more about the question in case you all don't understand. Is that when many adjusters were just doing their business, right? Like they were just listening to some songs, but very increased volume, right? So what the man did was getting angry with them, and the acts he did before shooting, of course. Do you think what he did as a normal road user is rational?
Can I answer your question first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, in my opinion, since I've actually been a lot in this same exact situation, it is normal for teenagers, even not teenagers, to hear very loud songs on the roads. And it is normal for them to get a glare. And it is even normal for them to get some curse words from other users. The only not normal part is when the gun came out. That is the only not normal thing, in my opinion. Because we all have encountered a car which has a very high volume that their cars is shaking from the loud volume, right? But who should people from opening very high volume in cars? That really didn't make sense. Like he is obviously acting on his own impulse. He's getting angry and just shut people on his own. So I guess that is really not normal for shooting people from just getting volume high. But I guess like the part where he cursed, the part where they are fighting back, that is totally normal for road users. I mean, it's not a good norm, but we have seen it even in Malaysia, right? We can even relate it with our own country. But the part where the gun came out, that is really out of topic.
That's a really good opinion, Ayat. Bella, you seem to be focusing on a really good idea. Could I hear some?
Well, in my opinion, I think that Aina is trying to imply that why is it that she focus on the normal is because she want to use it as an thing that could oppose the 50 years old in the sentence, so that it is normal for someone to shoot people who using an astronomical volume while listening to music. So yeah, in my opinion, it is very not normal. Okay, having a gun with you is definitely not normal, but in America it is normal due to some factors. But this is because he is a cop, but he is even not on duty. And the purpose of his doing that is just because of suspicious act that Manny was trying to turn off the volume, but turns out that the 50-year-old cop mistaken it for he is trying to take out a gun. So yeah, that is surely not a good evidence for someone who trying to back up himself for the thing that he did. Okay, so I think yeah. Okay, bottom line is not normal.
Okay, thank you, Bella. Before Ansa and Nas answering, so I would like to change. Okay, you just imagine that question, but before the scene that a gun was taken out. So they were fighting, right, using cursed words between each other, and Manny and Justin refused to listen. So, do you think that scene was rational for a 50 years old man to do? Like, was his anger rational, or yeah? What do you think? That's an answer.
Okay.
I think it's
You want to go
it's
first
not
or
normal.
okay, you go first.
No, you can just say if you want. Um, Actually, I think looking at the many side, he's actually in the mindset of let's have some fun. So that's why he being stubborn when justice tried to tell him to turn that radio volume down so that the police won't get mad. But still, many won't listen because he is in the mood of let have just some fun. That's the teenager nature, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the action is not normal because yeah, the thing that I think that it is a normal thing that people some usually teenagers always open the cars in high volume until the cars vibrating. Even sometimes when I'm like locking my house, I went to the front door and I hear some cars moving by, sings a song I don't know, vibrating until the car is like dum, dum, dum. I don't know. But it is actually not a normal thing to actually be mad because it is, yeah, you have to understand that they are teenagers and they are actually not mature yet, and you have to give them like time and not just, oh, you you know that you are on the road, you must always do the good things. Sometimes you have to like understand that teenagers are being teenagers, they are still developing, and yeah, they are not doing a bad thing. Actually, just opening a high volume of song, not actually um uh, potong disiplin like that. You understand what I mean? It is actually you have to understand the situation.
That's definitely what teenager would say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true, true. So
coming
we
from
got
a teenager age too. You have to
yeah,
understand.
true.
Aina, can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, but I just want to repeat your question. You asked us if that 50-year-old man is being rational for being angry, right? Okay, so in my opinion, it is rational for him to be angry, but his anger is not rational. We all can be angry towards that teenager, but we can always be angry in a polite way, such as, "Hey, dude, can you just slow down your volume or somewhat something because I'm having some fuck up moment right now," something like that, right? We can always ask in a polite way. That is being rational, but his anger is not rational. Do you guys understand what I mean? It is rational for him to be angry, but let's control our anger in a rational way. That's
Yes.
what I
Yeah, true.
A grown
and I
old man
Actually,
picking a
yeah,
fight with a
on top
teenager.
of that,
Oh my
it's
god.
their own right. So I believe if we are all being rational, even in our anger, this kind of thing is not going to happen.
true, true. Actually, we go with Ayat because actually, yeah, you could be angry in a polite way because actually, if you see in the book itself, things got worse when the old man started using this word, right? So after that, only it triggered many and things got complicated. So that's for the question in chapter 13. I think we could proceed with some vocab. Do you guys agree?
I think we have done with vocabs. I think it is connection to the real world.
Oh,
Your
sorry,
love to
sorry,
vocabulary
It's
is
okay.
just
People make
immaculate.
mistakes. I know
sorry,
that you like
sorry.
vocab like me.
Vocabulary is really famous lately. We all like to learn new vocabulary, right?
Okay, then what about
Okay, so I
connection
think
to
we
the
can
real
take.
world?
Okay. So I think we can take a look at page 87. Okay. At the fourth page from first passage, just gets his seatbelt fastened and many pulls out of the lot. My first got a call this morning. Mr. Christensen is pressing charges against me for assaulting his son. He takes his hand off the wheel to do the actions. So I think at this, yeah, thank you Ayat for the passage.
I'm sorry, but what chapter? What
Okay.
page?
Page 87. Background 7. Yes. 7. Yeah, at the fourth passage from the first one. Juice gets his, yes, that one. So there we can see that Mr. Christensen is pressing charges against Manny for assaulting his son. So this thing is actually I want to talk about an experience from my hostel life. It's not my experience, it's other experience. Is that it's about stereotypes. We see that here uh Mr. Christensen is pressing charges towards Manny, even though he does Manny, right? Manny. Even though he doesn't know that actually the one that he's being the bad person here is actually his own son, which is Jared. He's the one that start calling people black and giving others name of black peoples, and this can be seen actually in my experience. Um, During high school, there are sometimes that some seniors are quite like nerdy and being weak. Yeah, for example, like me, because I no. I want to say that this I'm actually a 17 years old, but I stay with 18 years old. You know what I mean? Like people see us at the same age, so the juniors are not respecting us as a seniors. These are like the normal thing in the hostel. So, for example, like me, I can say this is my experience too. Sometimes junior will always like mocking me and disrespecting me sometimes when I do some mistakes, a silly mistake that I was like joking with other people in my age, in my form. These juniors that are like thinking they are the same age as me always like mock me, like they are actually being at the same page at me. This is actually quite frequent. I cannot say that it's that one or two times that actually like frequently happens. This is just like many. Jared being assaulting people, and sometimes when the anger is come to what is that height
above the limit.
Above the
above the
limit.
limit. Yes, when the anger is above the limit, sometimes maybe I will like do some bad things to like punch the junior, but it's not like the bad punch that give bruises or others, just like making fun things. But there are some other people like me, not like exactly like me, but they are like being mocked like me, and they have their limits in anger, and when they are angry, they just can retain themselves and like punishing them until they get called to JDT. JDM. That was JDM. Okay.
That's
Nas, are
quite
you
an
Sorry, because
Ah,
interesting
I'm
story.
watching the live too, so
Oh.
Nas, are you
I
planning to
suddenly
watch some
blunder.
football tonight?
I don't know because this night is, night. Okay. You can call to JDM, but when the JDM like trying to make an investigation, the one that is uh get the most is the senior, obviously, because he punched the kid, right? But we need to see in a different way too. We need to know what is the real reason that
Wait,
uh
Nas, actually you got into JDM too? You yourself?
no. I punched just a bit. They punched
Just
until
a bit.
like a bit. I didn't give any bruises or like blood flowing out. That,
But you did.
but some of my
Yeah.
some of my friends did. Yeah, they are the ones that get in
So
JDM.
you are actually there?
No, 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 no.
No, no. I
What
mean,
is this?
you watch the
Yeah, I've
oh,
been experienced like that. But maybe because I'm not doing a pretty bad thing. So I talking about my friend. So it's like that. The one that gets the most is the seniors because the teachers we always believe that juniors are always good and didn't do anything bad. So they would investigate further into the things and actually knowing what the real stuff thing actually occurring behind the scenes. But it's like the same with this case because you can see that um because Manny is black and Jared his father didn't want to investigate anything. He saw that his son is get bruises or like blood and he just like, oh, who do this to you? But he didn't think why he do this to you. You know what I mean, right? So that's actually like the connection that stereotypes that people think like the white peoples are good, the black people are bad. So like this, you can see that the black people is the one who punched. For example, if you think back, if the one that punched was there was the one that punched was Jared, too many. Do you think that this thing will happen? Mm, maybe. Um, no, right. Okay, I'm talking alone. No. Okay. Why is my English being so
What is it,
bad?
Aina?
Yeah, I think Manny wouldn't go punch himself. He'll call his father
Yeah.
to
But
take
he's
discipline.
but our minister will actually try to understand what will happen, what is happening behind because yeah. But because people always follow the stereotypes that like the experience, my experience that junior is always good, they don't do anything bad. So okay, that is my connection. I'm sorry because my English is very bad this night. I don't know why.
it's okay. That is some real world connection we got there.
Yeah.
But I just want to add something to what I has just said. From what we can
Yes,
see,
please add because
okay. People always take actions when some violence are involved. Usually when we get bullied, orally, jam jam.
So we need to wait a little bit.
okay, you can add a little bit.
Okay. So usually when we got bullied, using words of mouth. When we were being harassed by words, no actions were taken because actually they are no harm done in our physical. It's just our mental is being harassed by the words. But when it involves physical, and then teachers will actually take action on all the bullying and stuff like that. I believe that is because um, getting physically harmed is definitely more harmful rather than just getting mentally abused because yeah, I guess both of it is actually harmful to us because yeah, we can always commit something like suicide or like we what we call uh I
Cut
Suicide attempt.
hands.
hands, yeah, like we cut our hands, something like that.
Risk.
You guys have experienced this, right? Some of your friends might be doing this, but I guess the teacher is not looking at the cost of it because when it we are mentally bullied, there is that, no one will notice it. Teacher cannot see it. If the teacher can actually notice it and stop it from the start, like what Nas has said, the what we call the source of the anger, the source of the man before they got bullied before they fight by punching each other, right? This thing will definitely not happen. But the thing is, we can't stop something like mental abuse. People do that like every day, like we mock each other. So that is and the bully happen when we cannot control our anger. That's why the teacher always putting someone who is bullying at fault with the physical bullying, not the mental one. That's why teacher are not looking at the source. I guess this is why what Mr. Christensen is trying to, because his son is just verbally bullying, I mean verbally being racism. Meanwhile, Jared, Manny is not being racism, but he is in fact affected by that racism, and he expressed it by using violence. This is why action is being taken on. My point here is, if Manny can control his anger, perhaps he can just um mock Jared with some racism, other racism word. Perhaps I'm not saying I'm encouraging his to be. I'm not encourage him to revenge here, but I guess if he could actually control his anger and not punch Jared, things would not go out of hand. His Mr. Christensen. Wait, what is the passage again? Um, yeah, Mr. Christensen will not press charge against him. So that's my point.
Yeah, I understand your point. It's like if it's my junior, no, if the senior doesn't punch the junior, he won't get yeah, I understand. But sometimes people have their limits, and you know that words are what we call in Malay kata-kata lagi
Word
tajam daripada
satisfying. I know punching is more
yeah,
satisfying rather than emotion.
yeah, you understand that, right? So you cannot just see it in one perspective only with um not the physically, but we also need to look at mental part. Okay, I think that's all about connections. I think we can summarize this chapter.
Okay, so you guys are ready for some summarization?
Always
Okay.
ready.
So I try to sum up what Ayat just said. She said that fire with fire, right? Fighting fire with fire. Okay, so for chapter 13, it is a short chapter. So it started with Manny getting charged by Jared's dad just because of getting what do you call, verbally abused, and he decided to take a drive with his best friend Justice. As he having a hard times, of course, music and ride is the best remedies for this, right? And then, long story short, they arrived at the traffic light, and then suddenly they met someone, 50-year-old age, kind of like that. And then they busted the volume, irritate the public, causing the public to get annoyed by the situation, by the astronomical value. So then things doesn't seem so good. Curse words started to rain, and then they refused to cooperate. Our boys doesn't want to cooperate with the man by, and then they also throw some curse word. Boom, catastrophe. So yeah, that's sum up the chapter, right? Okay, then we can move on to chapter 14.
Okay, chapter 14. So can I start first?
Of course.
Okay, so first of all, is instead of being vocabulary and literature, I think I need to be theorizer this time, because chapter 14 is like only 3 words. Okay. So in the chapter 14, we have only 3 words. That is bang bang bang. Hey, wait. Don't ignore that chapter, because it's quite a, deep.
Mr. Ansar, actually there's part two.
Yes, I think that part two is actually a part of the chapter 14.
Oh,
It just shows that the part one is the part where the anger starts to appearing and start. The start of the part two is when Manny is being killed. Ah, you see that
okay.
the novel do the part like that.
Okay, so
Ah,
anyway,
okay.
actually I don't think we should ignore the first part, because Because if I were questioner to this chapter, I would question why do you think the writer left 3 words for this chapter, excluding the bottom one? Probably it has a deeper meaning that um, normal readers would not comprehend. So, what do you guys think?
Probably it's because too tragic to describe, and it's a lot more interesting if we just flashback it in the forward in the apa tu future chapters, you know.
In my opinion, the
Yeah.
writer is trying to portray everything stops the moment the guns is shot, like everything stops. No words are being said after that. Like the whole world stops, something like that.
Okay, I think that the writer used the three words there, bang bang bang, because I think it want to show that there are only three shots being taken. I think is it three shot? I think
I
it's three
think
shot.
it literally means 3 shots because 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think the third one is the one that caused the death. I think so. I think that it gives a deep meaning of what exactly happened during the time. I think.
Yeah, I think it's probably the most tragic part of the book, chapter 14. So that's why I think the writer decided to split it to 2 parts. Like everything about the world has been like reset for justice life because of many deaths. Uh, can we continue to other role?
Yeah, sure. Could I ask some questions?
Oh, alright. You can,
Sa-
Aina.
Saiful, do
Hey,
you want to
yes.
start?
Okay.
Okay, I will ask question. Okay, in chapter 14, it was quite tragic as what all of you say. So, if you all didn't, okay, just imagine that you all haven't read the reason why he shot, right? So why do you think actually that man took up his gun and shoot? If you, yeah, if you don't, just imagine you don't know the real reason. So why did he just take up his gun and just shoot two teenagers?
Mm,
Okay. If I think that I don't know the real reason, okay, I think that the shooting must be caused by something like maybe justice is holding something that like a gun that shows that the need for the shot to be done. You understand right? Because it is actually uh, not illogical to actually make a shot because of some noisy and black people if we think in a logical way.
I
I
think I
understand
have
that. Yeah.
different theory.
Oh, you have
Um,
different theory. Okay.
okay. Looking at the police, I mean like yeah, he is police, right? Looking at the police perspective, the old man, I think it's probably because the the chain of hatred, because the one that makes him really mad wasn't because many injustice, but other African American guy that makes him lose sight of himself. But at that during that situation, the old guy probably didn't have the chance to release his anger to those guys. So instead, they release his own anger to random strangers that has the same race. So that's why he try to start shoot at them, because he already start to stereotyping African American guy, or they all like bad people like that. So that's what I think.
Okay, I agree with Ansa. Ansa have some good point there, but in my honest opinion, I uh, I actually personally I think like what Anas did, Anas thought, because if I were to be an outsider that didn't actually that actually did I'm not there at the incident, I will actually believe that the two teenagers must have done something until the police take out his gun, right? I mean, how do I say this? Why would the police take out some gun just for some loud music? It didn't make any sense. There must have been something like they being I mean they are being rude, but that is still not rational to take out guns. Yeah, perhaps the rumors where the two teenagers actually have gun, I might have trusted it because that is the most normal, rational way that the story would turn out, right? It is really not normal to hear that some police are shooting two teenagers for putting music really loud in their cars.
Have anything to tell Bella, or do you agree with this?
Yeah, I agree with others. It's just that I don't know what's going on in his head.
True, true. Actually, when I read that part, I thought because we didn't know yet, right? That guy is actually a cop. So I thought he's like a loner old man who could not see kids having fun and just get angry easily. So I thought he reached his limit and he just shot because of his angriness towards small children. I thought it was like that.
Actually,
So
there's
that's
another
how,
possibility.
yeah.
The man could be drunk. Yeah, we never know what drunk people could do, right? So there's possibility that he's drunk and at the same time he got a gun and that's why he shot that many and justice.
True, true, very true.
It's also mentioned that the old guy red, right? So probably he's drunk because he's red skin, right?
Yeah, true, true.
Oh,
Okay,
That's
now
quite good.
Really be looking deep into the passage.
Yes, we cannot see that part. Wow.
okay, that was really good points, everyone. So, could we proceed with some vocab?
I think Ansa is the one that giving vocab just now, and
Yes,
this is the second time
Nah,
I
you
think
really like
you have
vocab right
learned.
now.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh,
Oh no,
Ansa
why am I
already
Bang,
thinking
bang,
today?
bang.
I'm
the one
sorry
back.
again.
So
So,
I
who wants
will
to?
give.
I would not
Okay,
mention.
I'll continue my part as a connector. So I will show a video. Please take a look at the video.
interesting.
wow,
I've never seen a
interesting.
video
Yes,
in
it's
this
Yeah,
discussion before.
that's why I like being a.
you already have your
Uh,
attachment.
yes. No, no, no. Okay, wait. Mhm.
Alah, I just want to see your server.
Wait. No, no, no. You cannot see what's over. Okay, so here we have a video showing about Ahmad Abri. This
Is
is
there any
one of
warning?
the cases. Yes, warning, because this will show some shooting. So if you have any phobias of shooting, maybe you can go out from the Discord and no, no, no. Okay, so we can continue.
Nas, Nas,
Yeah, yes.
perhaps you can introduce us who is this Ahmad Obri.
Okay, this okay. Firstly, I will introduce this Ahmad Abri. Okay, Ahmad Awari is actually a guy, a normal guy that was actually jogging in Brunswick. I don't know where Brunswick. I see that it says Brunswick. I think it is in the United States. So Ahmad Awari is, jogging, and he moved across a housing area that have like a security. They have police, and so the police there are two police. Uh, Someone named Gregory McMichael, and another one is Keith. his son named Chris. Okay, they see that Ahmad Abri is jogging, and um, they, I don't know why, but they um, just concludes that Ahmad Abri is one of the people that has gone to a robbery, like a day or before, or like a week before the recent robbery, and they just accuse Ahmad Abri is like the one because he is black, and the one that they saw is also black. So this is the video showing that okay, when after Ahmad Abri is jogging, both the Gregory McMichael and his son get in the truck and follow Ahmad Abri. So this is the scene that occurs after after the, okay, the scene lah. Yeah. This video contains graphic content. Okay. Okay, this is a recording from a man. I don't know why he was recording, or maybe he like seeing that this is happening, so he just follows what happening there. So you see that Ahmad Abri, okay, I reverse back a bit. Ahmad Abri is just jogging. Yeah, you see that? The white person?
Yes.
Yeah, like he's just jogging normally without doing anything. Okay, but suddenly this happens. Okay, first shooting. Second shooting. Ahmad Abri is fighting. Okay, suddenly he collapsed. Okay, okay, so that's the end of it. Okay, you all see that stream, right? So I want you all to take a look at page 92, the passage 3. Okay, it says that the incident occurred just after afternoon at the intersection of 30th Street and Marshall Avenue. According to the wife of the shooter, who was riding in the passenger seat, there was a brief dispute over loud music before shots were fired. So I'm actually just showing that these cases are regulating from some, without basis. Some shooting that are happen, there are things without basis. You can see that if Ahmad Abri is being shot because they just accused without actually knowing that he is the one that uh do
The
the
burglar
breaking.
or not?
Actually, I don't know if he do it or not, but they just accuse it, and suddenly they just shoot him without actually capturing him and try to investigate, but they just shoot. This is just some things that you know
Yeah,
as a police you need to investigate things further because before doing anything, right?
I just read the
Same
article.
also like,
The police was
oh, you
trying
just,
to capture the burglar because there's someone called the 911 dispatcher, and then the caller said
okay.
that the burglar is running out in the neighborhood, so they thought that Ahmad Obri is the burglar, and the police said that
Yes, yes.
beforehand they already confront Ahmad Obri and said that they just want to talk, but then Ahmad Obri didn't stop and they shot him. But
Okay, maybe
yeah,
if
without
you
solid
look at the
evidence.
video, without some evidence. Actually, if, okay, obviously, if some guy that is robbing, of course he would like sneak into bushes and try to hide. Like if you say that, but he's actually jogging normally. Wearing. He's even wearing shorts. So where can he like keep his things that he can, yeah, understand. And that actually he is jogging very peacefully, but suddenly the police is the one that capture him, and he's you don't understand. I don't know how to say this, but I actually want to say that this
Yeah.
both, what you want to say it? these both things are the one that in the novel and the real world are just some blunders that happening, and suddenly there are some killings. These things actually need to be investigated further, and we cannot just do simply because of loud music and suddenly a shot because of someone jogging and look like a robber, and you just shot him. Yeah, you just have to do something first because you have
Okay.
something to say, Ayat.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes.
from what Bella has just said that they have asked Ahmad Obri to stop, right? Then when Ahmad Obri did the stop, they just assume that he is the robber. So this is I just want to highlight. I've got my word back. This is what I want to say. What about going to circle? Black people are not giving what we call kerjasama. Black people are not being
Cooperation.
Giving cooperation.
cooperation, and white people are really quick to assume things. I'm not saying that African American should always please white people because come they are the one who come to the land, right? The origin people is white people. But what I'm saying here is no one want to back down. No one trying to tolerate each other. We are going in circles because if every I believe if more African American are trying to be like Martin, which is just trying to lay low and just not trying to cause any uproar or trying to go against the white people who is trying to find the fault in African American, things wouldn't happen, right? Uh, let's stop this circle and someone has to change this circle thing, or we will just keep going in on the wheel, round and round and round.
Yes, I understand what you want to say. Okay, I think that's all. Do you have any opinions on the case? No, no, no. Okay, so maybe we can continue with the other part. I think it is some passage, right? I don't know if you pick passage from this chapter.
Yeah, I
Okay,
already picked some
okay, okay.
passage from this chapter. It's actually on the next page. The last page in this chapter, which is really insignificant, but for me, it's actually very significant. You guys can see the passage that are highlighted. Never did
Yes.
anything to anyone, and now man is gone. Okay, so actually, this part really got to me. Like, yeah, he actually didn't do anything wrong. He didn't. It's not his fault for opening songs very loud, and even he did not cause. He didn't. It's not like justice trying to uh backuping his own race. He's just lay low, like he's being quiet, not doing anything except for the punch he gave to Jared, right? But then he's the one to be dead. Do you guys understand how deep this passage is? Okay. So what this passage is trying to uh portray, in my opinion, is how many lives, how many uh innocent lives of African American has been uh what what is korban has been
Sacrifice.
sacrificed. Yeah, sacrificed due to this racism. How many lives has been sacrificed just for this um quick to assume thing white people? Do you guys know how? Do you guys realize how deep this passage can be? Okay, so that's just since this is just a short chapter, that is just the passage I want to share. I guess we can hear some questions, or do you guys want to add
Yes.
something to this
I
passage?
think question is already done, right?
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
Right? No. No. No, 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 no.
Uh, Questionnaire, have you give
Hey,
your question?
yeah. Who is the questioner? I didn't remember.
It's Aina, Aina.
Aina, right? Aina already done, yes.
SF, yeah.
Luckily, I didn't blunder. Okay.
All right. So is it the
Is it
summarization?
Yeah,
yes,
summarizer.
summarizer.
Okay,
All right.
it's my
Summarizer.
turn now. Okay, the story is very short. It's just like bang, 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 and then there's transcript and a little bit of letter. So long story short, shooting involved, and then turns out that the public was a cop who wasn't on duty at the moment, and yeah, our boys prettily got shot. One of them died, which is our Manny, and then Justice he got bullet to his chest, and his rib got cracked, right? But luckily he survived. And at the end of the chapter, there's a letter that say that Justice questioned what he did for his best friend to die. So yeah, so that's how the chapter 14 goes. So we can proceed to chapter 15. So who would like to go first? Hello.
Why don't we start with something easy, which is from our Mr. Vocab?
Yes.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay. Chapter 15, right? Chapter 15, there's a lot of word that we can similarize with our lives as a Muslim. Okay, first let's look at the word pastor. What do you guys think pastor is?
Annoying. I don't know. I thought it is
No,
PES.
no. I think it Pastor is the one that it's like the
Priest. No.
no, I don't know how to say this. It's like ustaz in Islam, right?
Yeah, priest.
Yes.
Or is it
It's
ulama in Islam?
almost like
Almost
ulama,
like father. Yes.
but more
No.
like giving advice to people. So the definition is that I got from the Wikipedia. It says a pastor is the leader of Christian congregation who also gives advice and counsel to people from community. So that's the definition of pastor. So like a Muslim, we have ulama, or we call it scholar. So it's almost same, but the only difference is the religion. Okay, second one, pulpit. So what do you guys think
I'm
pulpit
sorry,
is?
Alpha. What is the words again?
Pulpit, Pulpit.
We don't know it. Mind to expound?
No, 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 no. Pulpit. Pit.
Politics.
Pulpit.
Oh, pulpit.
Oh, pulpit.
But still, I didn't know what is the meaning. Maybe you can
Teach.
Okay, okay,
like the
okay.
last one expound.
Actually, I want you guys to think also, because as I said before, it's almost like our lives as Muslim, but except this one in the church, but we in the mosque. So okay, I just give what pulpit means. Pulpit means it's like a stage, uh, where like the
Like
uh,
when
Khutbah.
you said, right?
yes. So
Okay,
if we
khutbah.
translate in Malay, it means mimbar, the stage where you stand to give a
Oh,
speech.
but it but if we use it for the Islam, is it okay? Or pulpit is only used
Um,
for the this is the Muslim, right? Christian, I don't know.
it's no. I think there's a special word for Islam instead, because Islam already have their own term in English. I Because most of the words are already derived from Arabic. Like for example, like Fajar. Fajar means the first prayer of the five prayer on the day. So that's one of the word. Um, So pulpit is like mimbar, and the third one eulogy. I think I want you guys to also guess what eulogy means.
Is it some kind of speech for dead people?
Um, what do you mean? The page?
A speech. I
Oh,
don't know.
speech.
This is purely from my guess. A
Yes,
speech for dead people.
yes, yes. Correct. It is a speech that usually to praise someone. So the last one, casket. So casket is an object which is has the same meaning as coffin. But the difference between casket and coffin, casket you can use the word as a small chest or box to keep some jewels in there. So that's the difference between casket and coffin. So I think that's all for vocabulary. Or do you
Answer.
guys? Yes.
I would like to ask for the word eulogy. You said it was a speech to praise someone, right? So
Yes.
is it specially for during death ceremony, or you could use eulogy for other celebration also?
Okay. Okay. That's a deep question. Actually, I didn't research for that actually.
I think
Uh,
I just searched it just now. Yes, eulogy is used for praising someone as a tribute to someone who has just died. So it is specifically for someone who is dying and usually used in monumental uh, events.
Thank you.
oh.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ansar.
Okay. So I think that's all for vocabulary. So do you guys want to add another word that I didn't see or no? Three, two, one. Okay, let's continue.
I'm
Okay,
sorry, I didn't see any
Yeah,
any because I didn't search
that's
it.
very wizard of
Sorry,
you.
sorry. Okay, I think we can continue with others. Maybe some passage. Or do you feel tired because you have to always?
No, no, no. It's okay. It's okay. I can continue. Guys, let's see which passage I have choose. Wait, I also don't remember. Oh, this one. Okay. Eh, is it this one? Oh yeah. Okay, let me read it first. And many agree at a solidarity rally held in Thyssen's honor. Picketers wore t-shirts and read race baiting should be a crime, while holding signs featuring Thyssen's face and the words protector, not poster child. Okay, so actually we have come to a whole new topic here, which is race baiting. Actually, this is not new one because Jared has already kind of getting into this topic when he called about something affirmative discriminatory against majority blah 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 when he didn't get into Yale, right? Okay, this is somehow the same as the Jared case, but in a bigger movement, race baiting, because they are saying that the prosecutor is using the race card to put the what we call the police into to get the indictment for the police, right? So in my opinion, this happened because it is just hearing that the police is just shooting that two teenagers that actually didn't have gun didn't make sense, and they believe that the two teenagers actually have gun, and that's why they are using this as race baiting. wait. I'm getting my words mixed up here. But you guys get my point here that actually the crowd didn't believe the true story, where Manny and Justice didn't actually do anything wrong, but they still got shot. So the crowd assuming that
Ware.
so the crowd is assuming that Justice and Manny actually in the wrong here, so they are doing race baiting. Okay, race baiting is one thing, but I actually don't really understand about the phrase protector, not poster child. Do you guys have any opinion on the whole passage, or perhaps about the protector, not poster child? Because I really don't understand the what the author is trying to depict here when they are saying protector, not poster child.
Actually, I was about to ask you the same question, but then you don't know. So yeah. Protector not poster child.
Wait, what was the question again?
Okay, my
I'm
question is,
okay.
do you guys have any other opinion about this race baiting? And actually, I don't really understand about the protector, not poster child phrase. Do you guys have any idea what the author is trying to say here?
Um, I think poster child is actually a word if you search on the Google. So poster child actually has nothing to do with poster actually. It means a person or thing that epitomize. Okay, what actually epitomize mean?
Symbolizes.
Okay, okay. Yes, it symbolizes, represents a specified quality or cause. So do you guys understand?
No.
Okay.
Can
Okay.
you
Post.
expound?
For example, it's like a person, a person who wants to show uh something like he want to tell we need to make a anti-globalization or anti-racism. So he's being a poster child. Do you
I
guys
think
understand?
I can relate it
oh
somehow. Do you mind if I explain more?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so before this, actually, in the passage before, okay, let me just show it to you guys. They are trying to say that because of the Garrett, Shema Carson, and that what is the Tavarius Jenkins, where the police actually did not have a very heavy indictment on them. The the jury, jury, right? The jury is trying to use this what was the name again? Thyssen, this Garrett Thyssen as a poster child, so that they can actually see officers also are getting indictment for things like this, so that any uproar regarding racism are not actually happening. You guys understand that is trying to make Garrett Thyssen as a poster child, so that um the Shema Carson and the what's the other guy's name? Shamar Carson and Tavares Jenkins case are not actually that big because the police officer did not get heavy indictment. Because so that uh Thiessen is like a poster child. That's why protect the not poster child. Do you guys understand? Or my word is really messed up this night. Tonight, I mean. Seems like you guys don't understand. Okay, so okay, wait.
Okay. Let me just express my understanding.
Yeah, can to expound lah.
I think okay, the passage is trying to tell that everyone is opposing justice, right? Because it says that race baiting should be a crime because they are the one who started the volume thing. And then while holding signs featuring Tyson's face and the words protector, not poster child. So what does protector means here?
Police officer.
So,
Police.
so the officer doesn't care
Wait,
about quality. I
why
didn't
police?
understand.
Why the police as the protector? Why was the police as the protector?
Oh, oh,
I think because
so this
police
trying.
supposed to protect people, right?
What are you trying to say, Bella?
Yeah, I also don't know.
I guess you guys can just read it from the previous this previous chapter. You guys can read it here. Let me highlight it first. The indictment stands in glaring contrast to Nevada, Florida cases involving the death of Shama Carson and Tavares Jenkins, and two of the charges, aggravated assault and felony murder, have many members of the community in an uproar. They are out to make an example of him. Okay, this one. They are out to make an example of him. Okay, Caesar. Eh, claims the indictment is nothing.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Ah, it's very hard. Hmm.
Okay, let's just move on. I think.
Let's just move on. I think this passage is very hard. Maybe we can try to ask teacher in the next class.
Yeah.
But I think this one is actually important. But I cannot see the meaning actually.
Yeah, Mr. Wizard should
Uh,
know about this. Eh, but
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Wizard
Beast.
already understand. We can understand. Oh my god.
Yes.
I think to make it simple, I think it's probably how the public react to the justice case. I think that's what I think.
Okay, since we are taking too long here, I guess we can get some questions from Aina.
Yes, the time is
Yeah,
also
sure.
very late.
Yeah, still in. We were supposed to cover 18 chapters, right, tonight?
Let's just do three first.
18 chapters
Just,
tonight?
just
Let's
play,
just
just
do
play,
three
just
first.
play.
Okay, three first. Okay,
Sorry?
for chapter 15, actually, I have two questions. Firstly, wait a minute. Okay, the part when that is a part where actually Justice made Sarah Jane, right, and when the mother saw both of them, mother asked them to stay as friends, right? So in that situation, do you support mom's opinion on her decision to ask them to stay as friends and not go beyond that because of the race? Do you guys support the mother's decision?
No, I think the mother should not being like one race must be with his race only. You understand, right? For example, if Malaysian, we must not like the Malay with the Malays, Indian with Indians, Chinese with
Yeah.
Chinese.
Race
We
is
can
just a
actually have
color.
some mix. Hi, race is just a
No.
color.
Skin color
It's
is
just a
just color.
background.
Ah, yeah.
Just a background of someone. It doesn't mean that there are different races we cannot actually marry with them. There are some cases where in Malaysia, Malay married with Chinese or Chinese married with Indians. The mixed racial thing is actually is a good thing too because it can actually like try to strengthen up the relationship between other races. You can see if actually the justice and who they call SJ are actually married, maybe they can actually try to you know decrease
Rationalize the mother.
the
Oh.
tightness the relationship. You understand, right? Because we need to actually remove the stereotypes of the black with the black and the white with the whites.
Okay, but to be honest, it is only rational for Justice Mom to act like that because with all the thing that's happening around her, with her son almost got handcuffed for doing nothing and his friends got shot by police for doing nothing too. It is only rational for her mom to be that paranoid to white people. Do you guys understand what I mean?
Yes, yes. Bella and Amsa, do you have any opinions on this?
Yes, I kind of agree with Ayat. After all those things that the white people did to justice, the mom should be paranoid. Oh my god.
I think I agree with that.
Okay, there were quite very good points that were highlighted by all of you just now. There is another question actually. In page 99, there was a paragraph saying that um, the man was defending himself from thugs, said Tyson's neighbor April Henry. I've known Jared for 25 years. So on that, they actually some people supported right what the white guy did. And do you guys describe this as justice? Is yeah, was that fair?
No, I don't think that's a justice. That's just that assumption with no evidence.
Yeah, I think so because we cannot just accept what a neighbor just said about the one who he knows in 25 years. We don't know that he is actually racist in his deeper self because we are only his neighbor. We cannot just because we he has lived like 25 years. We cannot just assume that he is a point that we can take to justice and justify the killing. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Aina, can you repeat the question?
In this passage, they were actually telling that um, in this passage, they actually closed the case saying that Manny and Justice had a gun. So it was not the guy who shot. So it was not his fault. So do you guys think this is fair to make such conclusion? You get my question.
You said the case was closed. I mean, they assume that justice have gun. Do you mean that? I thought the police got indictment and he will undergo trial. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't really understand the question.
Yeah, I'm sorry for my bad arranging of my words. Okay, so in this passage, we could see that there were people actually supporting what Jared said. Jared actually said that I shot Manny and Justice because I thought they had a gun. So he was actually supporting himself, saying that I saw Justice having a gun, and people actually believed it. So do you guys think people believing just Jared's story is fair for both sides? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Or still not?
Is
No,
it
no, we
Jerry's story
actually
or his
understand.
neighbor?
No, the neighbor says that Jared is a good Samaritan, so that's why. But Jared
Yeah.
said that the thing that Aina said.
Oh. Okay, okay. Sorry, sorry.
So they just okay. What I thought about this question is that they shouldn't have just listened from Jared. They because of they know Jared is a good person. They believe what Jared said. So I think it wasn't fair for Justice and Manny because in real Justice and Manny did not hold any gun, right. So I think the authorities should have investigated what Justice and Manny were having in their hands. So do you guys understand?
Yeah, we understand actually.
Yeah, thank you, Aina, for the explanation. And actually, I believe the authorities have already know the real story. That's why Garrett is being held on trial. But if I were to be normal people who didn't know anything, who is not there at the incident, I actually would kind of believe that Justice and Manny have a gun because like the whole thing we just talked about it is just not, it doesn't make sense that the police would like just shot the teenagers without any solid reason. That's why even and on top of that, if I were white people with all the stereotypes that niggas are bad people, I will actually, I cannot say if I will actually believe it 100%, but if I can imagine if I were in that situation with that same incident, I can actually I kind of will believe that actually there must be some hidden gun or something that actually results in the police shooting that two teenagers.
Have we gone to connection?
Yeah, could you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can hear.
really, very, very true. Yeah. Okay, so do you guys want to add more or should we move to the next section?
Next section. Look at the
Yeah, I
time.
think the next session. I think the one that I highlighted is still about racism. Okay, maybe you can open page 94. Yeah, I didn't remember the one. Where is the chart? The part where he says that he would love to just get up and walk out. Okay, I just want to highlight some things. It is still about the one that we talked about just now, Ahmad Abri, but it's about the stereotypes. No, the stereotype, the excuse that people give to show that actually the killing is actually logical. Because as you can see, who is that? Justice. They say that Justice had a gun, but without they even know actually that he even had a gun. Same goes for Ahmad Abri, and where they say that Ahmad Abri is trying to fight his son. No, Ahmad Abri is trying to fight the police's son. You know that the police has the two people, right? The father and the son, right? When he tried to capture the son. He said that Ahmad Abri is trying to fight the son, but actually um Ahmad Abri is actually being captured first, not being attacked first. You understand, right? So these things are people that always make excuses to show that these killings are actually logical. And I don't know why, because white peoples always get some this supremacy that um white peoples are very good. They won't do anything based on some racist things, like when we see at the justice case and many where actually the real reason is because of racism, but they say that justice had a gun. Same goes we can say at cases before this, like the one that had a cell phone in his pocket, but actually they see as a gun. You know, they always give excuses to say that these cases are logical. It can be they didn't do anything for. That's all I want to say about connections to the real world. You guys have anything to add? No, no, no. Oh yes, yes, yes.
No, no, no.
I
Hmm.
think it's because the time is running out. I think I
Can we go to just go to summarize, please?
will summarize because I feel very tired now.
Okay, you
It's
guys are
Yeah,
so
almost
eager
two
to end
hours,
this
but
session.
we are talking about three chapters only, but it is
No,
about 2 hours.
yeah, it's about 2 hours now.
Okay, so
I feel
we're going to
tired.
end the
Okay.
session by summarization. So the chapter 15 took place at the church. The setting is at the church. It started with saying that justice recoveries took almost a month, and that is the duration of how long Manny was not buried yet and was left in the what casket, not casket. What do you call it? Wow, that thing. Um, because of on the behalf of his best friend Justice attendance. So Manny was not buried yet. So during the funeral, the media was there and Justice was known as the boy who survived. So during his recoveries, this is when Justice was flashbacking his experience at the hospital. So many people visited him, such as Mello, SJ, and also Doc. So moving on to the funeral, SJ approaches Justice, and as they talk, Mom saw this situation, and then this situation is despised by Justice Mom, which insists that the relationship will never go beyond friend. So they both move on from the conversation and trying to get out from the funeral. And hey, media is everywhere. So Justice was like, ask me no question and I shall um give you no violence. But then there's someone that pisses him off, but her mother tried to calm things down and they get out from the event, and that's how chapter 15 ended. So yeah, that's all.
Yes, thank you everyone. Have a good night.
That's the end of our session now.
It's a wrap.
So
Bella, have you stopped the recording?